Thank you. Thank you very much for having me here today. I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about StubHub, the world's largest ticket marketplace. And, my two colleagues here talk to you a lot about the in-venue experience, and what we're going to talk about today is how we are using technology and innovation to really fuel getting more fans to more live events. At StubHub, our purpose is really simple. We exist to connect people through inspiring event experiences. Okay, what does that mean? It's that connection that you're forged between yourself and the performer, the artist, the athlete. But more importantly, it's that connection that you forge with the person you go to the event with. Right? Going to live events is inherently a social experience. Very rarely do we go to them alone. And that connection that you forge with the person you go with, whether it's a friend, a loved one, a colleague, whoever it may be, it's those memories that create a lifetime of memories for you. And I think we all can relate to the fact that right now the in-home experience, especially for sports, has become so good and so powerful. You have 80-inch television and 17 speakers in a room where there's beer within an arm's length of you. So how do we get people to go to live events? We believe that there is nothing better than seeing something live. The roar of the crowd, seeing your child's face for the first time when they take in a soccer pitch, hearing that song that you've been wanting to listen to, you've been listening to at home for the last 10 years. And sometimes it's not just the event itself, but it's the anticipation of the event that's actually even greater. Right? We've all gone to huge games in the past where we've shown up and it's been a blowout and it hasn't turned into what we had hoped. But that anticipation, that moment before the moment, is really what we live for. And that's why we created this. So let me tell you a little bit about who we are. StubHub was created in 2000 by two Stanford graduate students. And the two of them were huge sports fans. And they hated the experience of trying to buy tickets to live events. 20 years ago in the US, if you wanted to go see a live event, you had to get online for 8 hours. And you had to wait, and you had to hope that you got a wristband. And once you got your wristband, you had to hope that you won the lottery, and your wristband number was called early, and then you had the pleasure of forking out your money to buy tickets. I can tell you personally, I grew up in New York, and I remember sleeping outside to go to a Yankee playoff game in order to try to get tickets. And I don't know if any of you have been to the South Bronx before, but that's not a place you really want to spend an overnight trip in. And so they looked at that experience and they said, look, this is fundamentally broken. Either I wait online for 8 hours to get a ticket to an event, or my other recourse is to go in front of the venue, find one of these unscrupulous characters, and hope that I get a valid ticket that I'm going to pay for within cash. Neither one of those were great experiences. And so they thought to themselves, why can't we use technology to fuel a better experience? I'm sure many of you here have used Uber before. So if you think about the way you use Uber right now, they took another experience and they created a frictionless experience. So it used to be that if you wanted a taxi, you had to either wave your arm in the middle of the street or call someone and pray that they were going to show up at 2 o'clock in the morning outside of the club. Now, through Uber, you have an app. It tells you exactly when it's going to come, and you're on your way. StubHub acts very similarly. we like to think of ourselves as one of the original Silicon Valley disruptors. Now with StubHub, you don't have to wait online for 8 hours. You can buy a ticket whenever you want, wherever you are. You get to choose where you sit. You get access to the event when you want it. And now, you can do that in a mobile environment where your ticket purchase is as seamless as anything that you might buy on eBay or Amazon. In 2006, we created what we call the Fan Protect Guarantee, which is essentially the industry's first money-back guarantee. The problem with resold tickets or resold goods in any capacity are people always worry about legitimacy. Are these tickets going to work? I'm going to show up to the event. Am I going to get in? We took that fear away by saying, look, you're either getting into this event, we're getting you another ticket, or we're giving you your money back, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. In 2007, we had 2 milestones that I think probably changed the trajectory of our business more than anything else. We were bought by eBay, who was the largest competitor at the time, and we forged a partnership with Major League Baseball, who became the first league in the world to forge a partnership with a ticket marketplace. In 2010, we launched the first mobile app in ticketing. Now, it's hard to believe that 7 years ago, we had no mobile traffic at all on mobile devices, but that's true. Now, flash forward 7 years, and 60% of our traffic is on mobile, and we anticipate that going up to 80% in the next 2 or 3 years. Now you can actually get on a security line, buy a ticket, and by the time you get to the entrance to the venue, you can use your ticket to get in. That's how much mobile has changed behavior over the last 7 years. And then finally, in 2016, we acquired a company called TicketBiz. For those here from Mexico, you might be familiar with TicketBiz. They're one of the largest marketplaces here in Mexico. So much like StubHub, 2 young entrepreneurs formed TicketBiz. They were based in Spain. They saw the StubHub model and they said, well, why can't we do that in the rest of the world? And in 6 years, they grew a profitable business in 48 markets around the world. And now with StubHub, we're the largest ticket marketplace in the world, giving people options to buy tickets to events wherever they are, whenever they want, anywhere in the world. So who are we today? Today we're a $4.3 billion business that grew at almost 30% last year. We sold more than 30 million tickets, which equates to about a ticket every 0.9 seconds. We have 21 million unique visitors who come to the site every month. And from that partnership with Major League Baseball, we now have over 200 partners around the world, including Major League Baseball, teams from the NHL, the NBA, the English Premier League, Singapore Rugby, and Mexico Soccer. So we have really globalized our partnerships and made that one of the preeminent ways that we differentiate ourselves from all of our competitors around the world. So now that you know a little bit about StubHub, I thought I'd spend the remainder of our time really showing some cool pieces of technology and innovation that we feel are really going to be the future and really help drive more people to more live events. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is something that we've called the StubHub blended experience. Especially in the United States, we increasingly see that there is no distinction between a primary ticketing market, your original point of sale, and a secondary ticket marketplace. More and more, we're seeing people come directly to StubHub because they want to buy tickets on their own time. And so this blended experience, we believe, is going to be the future of ticketing. In the future, there is not going to be a primary or secondary. There's just going to be a ticket marketplace, and prices are going to be priced at the value that they are at the moment. So with the Philadelphia 76ers as our launch partner last year, we created this blended marketplace where you can see primary and secondary tickets sitting side by side with no distinction made between the two. So as a consumer, you can come in and buy tickets, and you have no idea if you're buying a primary ticket, a secondary ticket, multiple secondary tickets, multiple primary tickets. All you're concerned about is that I'm going to buy the tickets where I want to sit at the price I want to pay. And this cart technology, the shopping cart technology that we're using to fuel the back end of this, really gives us a ton of options and gives our rights holders a ton of option. So you have the ability to create add-ons. You buy your ticket, hey, maybe you want to buy a piece of merchandise. Maybe you want to buy parking to the event. You want to create bundled packages. So imagine now being able to create your own mini season ticket packs, right? I want to go see these 6 events with these 4 friends, and I'm going to buy that in one seamless transaction. What if I want to upgrade? I'm going to get to the venue. I want an option to upgrade. We can do that with this new experience. And as a rights holder, you have access to data. We have custom dashboards that we create so that you have real-time access to data. The page is completely branded in team colors, so you can see here, Philadelphia 76ers branded. And it gives you the option to create more choices for your consumers. And so we've seen a significant lift in sales this year with the Philadelphia 76ers. And I'm going to show you, or attempt to show you, a quick demo of how this works. All right. So you can see here on this mobile-focused device, I'm going to get to choose an event I want to go see. So in this case, I want to go see the Charlotte Hornets play the Philadelphia 76ers. So I click on that. Now my choice is, how many tickets do I want to get? Well, I know I've got 5 friends who want to go, so I'm going to pick 6. So 6 of us are going to go to this game. Now, you see here, StubHub lists a best value. So we tell you what's the best value for seats given the number of tickets you've chosen. In this case, it's the $75 ticket in upper level 301, so I'm going to click on that. So now I see I have my 6 tickets. They're $75 each for a total of $453. And I have the ability, if I want, to upgrade for $6 additional per ticket. Now, I'm pretty cheap, so I don't think I'm going to do that. But I'm going to take those $6 that each of a ticket, and I am going to buy a parking pass because I do want to be able to get in and out of the stadium. So I'm going to add on the parking. And now I'm going to check out. I'm going to sign in either through Facebook or through my own personal login. And you can see the tickets are ready for instant download. Click on Purchase with the parking pass. And I'm on my way. Just that simply, you can purchase tickets, you can download it on your mobile device if you want, and you can use your mobile device to be able to go to the venue. The next thing I want to show you is something that we call virtual view. So I think for many of us here, virtual reality is a fascination, but we haven't really seen fantastic content for it, if we're being honest, and we really haven't seen many applications for use in commerce. Well, we feel like we've changed that paradigm. Last year, we rolled out Virtual View, which gives you literally a virtual view from your seat wherever you might want to choose in the stadium. So we've rolled this out to about 50 venues around the world so far. And what you're able to do as the consumer is you're able to go in, pick your seat, and see a 360-degree view from where your seat is. And that takes away one of the biggest pain points we find when consumers are coming and trying to buy tickets is, what's the view going to look like from my seat? Am I going to have an obstruction? Is there going to be, are the sight lines going to be good? And so now with this 360 view, you can actually see exactly what you'll be able to see from your seat. And the nice thing about this experience is that while it's fantastic if you have a Google Cardboard, if you have any other VR device, it can actually still be used even without them. So here's a quick demo, as you can see. Okay. The last thing I want to leave you with is something that we haven't rolled out. In fact, this is the first time we've ever shown it externally. I talked to you earlier about the importance of being a global company, right? Giving people the option to buy tickets wherever they are, whenever they want, anywhere in the world. I talked to you about mobile, which is really driving the future of ticketing, particularly as a millennial audience seeks to become more spontaneous. We're seeing purchases more at the last minute, and mobile is fueling that behavior. And the third sort of pillar for us that we really think is driving the future is social. I mentioned earlier that going to a live event is inherently a social experience. But we also know that planning for a live event, purchasing tickets for a live event, are also inherently a social experience. It's not as simple generally as people saying, do you want to go to this? Let's buy tickets, let's go. It involves multiple IMs, multiple text messages, phone calls, social media feeds, all that to try to hone in on the tickets they want to buy, on the events that they want to buy, on the date that they want to go. And so what we've tried to do is create a social experience all within the StubHub app that gives the ability to plan, purchase, and go with your friends. So I'm going to show you a quick demo. Now, as I said, we haven't released this yet, so I can't promise this is exactly what it will look like someday, but this is our best guess. Okay, for the purposes of this demo, we're going to call me Bobby. Bobby lives in San Francisco, but he's going to visit New York with his wife. And while they're in New York, they want to go get tickets to the biggest phenomenon that's in New York right now, which is the show Hamilton. So Bobby decides, all right, I'm going to go in, I'm going to type in, and I'm going to try to buy tickets to see Hamilton in New York. So he sees there's tickets for Friday, there's tickets for Saturday, but we really want to go on Sunday. That was the night that we really felt we have a great dinner reservation and we want to go Sunday night, but there were no tickets. I'm sorry, Saturday night. There are no tickets. And so Bobby says, okay, hey StubHub, can you notify me and let me know when there might be tickets available? So he clicks on notify me, and he gets a message from StubHub saying, Bobby, we're on it. Maybe there are some other events that you might want to go to instead. And so what we're using here is artificial intelligence and machine learning for this bot that tries to give people best recommendations based on prior behavior, based on other customers with similar tastes, so that we might be able to get Bobby to an event of his choosing. So in this case, Bobby, would you like to see some other events? Absolutely. So he has a chance. Do you want to go to Cirque du Soleil? Not sure. Do you want to go see Book of Mormon? I hear that's a great show. Maybe. What about Chicago the Musical? You know what? I'm going to invite my wife and see if she wants to go to that. So he clicks on, goes up to Kaysen and invites his wife and says, hey, do you want to go see these events? Not sure we're going to get tickets to see Hamilton. So he sends it to her on her social feed, and she says, look, let's wait another day. I really want to see Hamilton, and let's find out beforehand. So they decide they're going to postpone and wait one more day. All of a sudden, they get a notification. Tickets have appeared on StubHub. Now Bobby's able to go in, click on the tickets he wants to buy. He gets that best value feature that tells him the best value here is $600. Hamilton's not cheap. And he has 2 tickets to download. Now, this is Bobby's first time in New York, and he's like, I've got to buy tickets to the hop-on, hop-off bus tour. So he buys 2 of those, adds those to his cart, and now he checks out. Bobby's all done. He buys his tickets. And now, since this is the first time Bobby's bought tickets for theater, he unlocks special rewards from his loyalty program on StubHub. He gets a notification that says Bobby's going to Hamilton, and in his personal social feed that now exists within the StubHub app, he's able to post that he's going to Hamilton just like you would on Facebook, and other people are able to respond. And that's it for Bobby. Well, thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it.